Welcome back to the latest episode of Press Release. I'm your host, Sherwin Glosson. Your host to my left is Tommy Ingram. Host to my right is Cornell Harris. How you guys doing today?
Hey, man, I'm excited about the show. It's time. It's time for us to talk about this.
Got it. Time to talk about this. And this is that. What that means is we're talking about the big Augusta today.
What's going on?
And all the impacts, things that impact Augusta. Masters, manufacturing, jobs, right? Homelessness, those things impact Augusta as well.
Right.
But the whole goal is how do we get Augusta to be the irresistible spot to come to? How do we get the tourists here? How do we get more jobs here? What I will say is the unemployment rate has been decreasing in the Augusta, Richmond County area in the past 6 months. It's had at least a 1% drop or a 0.1% drop over the past 6 months. So that's one thing that can attract people here is there is a low unemployment rate here. So let's get into it, fellas. Tommy, you being a community guy, right?
Yes, right.
You hear and you see a lot of the effects of what's here and what's not here in our community. Tell us your insight on what do you think it takes for us to get to the big Augusta?
Well, the big Augusta to me...
And I'm sorry, and what does the big Augusta actually mean to you?
The big Augusta means that we need to take Augusta to a level of Atlanta, but not with all the issues that Atlanta has. We have to be like a more calmer place. I think that the music and everything that we need, all of this, we need to be a more subtle area.
Yes.
But the finances and taking it to another level, the old Augusta has not worked for us. You can go around certain streets and certain areas around here. It's very unattractive. One individual said that they're paying so much money for rent, but it's boring. And I agree with that. I know a lot of people may not agree with what I'm saying, but it has to be said. There are so many different ideas that we have researched ourselves, me and my team, about taking Augusta to the next level. You said the unemployment rate is low, but even though the unemployment rate is low, it's not in a place that people necessarily want to come. It's not on somebody's radar that I want to come live in Augusta. I want to come to Augusta because of the entertainment or the amusement parks. So we don't have any attraction. Of course, for 1 week, we have the Masters. That don't have nothing to do actually with the Augusta community. It has everything to do with the Masters and how they develop their business plan for Augusta for them. Augusta for Augusta residents, for the citizen, for the other areas that's around the CSRA, to make Augusta that place that everybody has on their list. So I have to go to Augusta right now.
So you bring up some very valid points, right? And I see you're looking at it from a macro standpoint, right? How is everybody going to be impacted by what happens in Augusta, right? Mm-hmm. But we have to first acknowledge the things that we do have good going on in Augusta that is making some good impact. Now, when you say on a micro level as far as the Masters, we here in Augusta look at it as a micro. The country look at it as a macro because it brings us just so many people to the city. But the Masters itself, it produces about 120 to 160 million annually. So just imagine, not only are the people who are renting out their houses, who are buying, in the hotels and in the retail spots making money, but there are actually people out there who getting the hustle on some type of way, or the Masters is providing I would say a pretty nice wage throughout that week or so that gives them an additional opportunity to make some revenue, right? Which can be, a change for them, or I won't say a game changer, but it could be. It could help them make them meet their rent for the month or pay the light bill for the month. And I know that's only 1.5, 2 weeks out of the year, but let's look at what is good that's going on in Augusta, and then I will most definitely want to hear your ideas about what we can do to help make this a bigger and better Augusta than what it is.
I'm not necessarily against the Masters. I don't want anybody to think that.
No. I'm not saying that.
Now, I want to say something to Mr. Harris over there. Yeah. we mentioning how much money does the Masters make, right? Let's get the Masters on the table right now. Put it on the table. What we had talked about it last week. What are you saying about the Masters last week? I'm saying this for a reason because I want to show y'all something.
Well, I get your point. You know, I'm gonna agree with you. I think when you look at how much the Masters make in a week, that is only for part of the community. Correct. I don't think in totality of the community, I think that's a great vacation a week for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. But then at the same time, there are people that are in the hospitable community, hospitality. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what I said. Hotels,
hospitality community that makes good money.
Absolutely.
During that time, but as in a whole, I think I'm gonna agree with Tommy where there ain't nothing in Augusta. I mean, if I was 24, 25 years old, and I didn't have a cyber job or maybe a medical job, mm-hmm. why would I live in Augusta? You know, and you know, it's not one of those things where the community is bad, you know, it's poverty or it's a lot of criminal activity. It's just like, why Augusta? When I can look and I can Google and say, you know what? Where does a lot of people in Augusta like to go and have fun?
And I'm glad you.
What's the number one
I'm glad
place?
you asked that.
People in Augusta, where they want to go and hang out and have fun? Savannah.
I'm glad you asked that.
And when I look at the numbers and I say Savannah has less people in their area than what we have in our area, but they have more things going on all year round. More attractions.
So that's what I wanted to get us to, all right?
Yes.
And so I'm glad that we are bringing this out of both of you. And I'm glad you both agree with each other. And hey, I didn't say I didn't agree with you. I just want you to look at it from two sides of the coin.
Though. It's a podcast.
Look at it from two sides of the coin.
It's a conversation, man.
It's a conversation,
we
right?
don't agree on everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
but I'd rather y'all not agree with me.
You know,
because I want to argue.
Because hey, but listen here. Listen.
Yes, sir.
What? And so let's look at when you talk about maybe a top three things, right? Because you laid out a lot. When you talk about attractions, because you just brought that up, what attractions in here in Augusta don't meet the need of a certain age demographic from 13 to 17, 18 to 25, and 25 and up? Tell me.
Well, let me say this first.
We talking about attractions first now.
Now, well, I'm gonna say first you have to be attractive to get attraction. You know what I'm saying? We got to make the place. We got to develop Augusta. Augusta's not an attractive place. You know, downtown we have areas that we need to develop, and of course, my thing would be
are important. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
My thing would be to create opportunities for the individuals here, construction and going to Augusta Tech, learning how to do carpentry, places like this. We can make sure that people here have the opportunity to build these communities up that we need to be built up, and they can get paid. I would say even though individuals that's in game, stuff like that, that'll stop the game problem. Get the game members. We need y'all to stop doing all the other stuff that you're doing and get into a situation where you know how to build houses, build homes, get a trade. That's not something difficult to do.
No.
The things that we're talking about is very solutional.
Yeah.
So first thing is first, we need to clean the place up. Because when we drive, we come through Augusta, ain't nobody stopping. People afraid to go to the gas stations. There's certain places they'll go and certain places they will not go. Yeah. You know, they're not going to a lot of the Walmart. So they'll go to, even though they're boycotting places. But what I'm saying is we have to be honest about where we are now.
Yeah.
And we can fix it. It's not something that we can't fix. Yeah. But I would rather fix it with the people here. Because if we're employing our people that's already in this area, then other people that's coming to this area now to get a job, then we're giving opportunity to the individuals that are here. Mm-hmm. We stopping the crime rate because the crime rate is an issue. But if we have the ones that's doing the crime, we get them to work, in which we need y'all to work, then our first thing would be for them to do, which is not something difficult for them to do, is to start building and cleaning the area up and getting paid for that.
So that is a great point, right? The aesthetics and the optics of the city do matter, right? And there are teams out there that really clean up certain parts of the city, right? But not everywhere. But there's a reason probably behind why those certain areas are not being cleaned up or not being focused on, right? To redevelop or develop, right? What are those things?
I mean,
because it's a lot that goes into that.
I mean, I get what both of you are saying, but I remember growing up and the first thing people used to say is Savannah is the murder capital of the world. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Savannah was known as a dangerous place, but then all of a sudden, Savannah came a tourist spot. You know why? Because it was more detail put in what's great in Savannah than what's bad in Savannah. And I think a lot of times that's what we do in Augusta. I mean, we even have a page that says Disgusta.
Yeah, I don't like.
I mean, I don't think the profile of how even we embark and we look at our city, we don't look at our city with positivity. You know, I mean, you look at it, and I'm gonna go to a sport thing right quick, just quickly. Savannah has an area, and I'm looking at the camera. Savannah has an area for their youth where they have artificial fields, multiple of them, that's for multiple use for no matter what community you come from. That keeps people busy. Augusta doesn't have a multi-platform for youth. Why? We always saying, well, our youth this and our youth that, but I don't see anybody marching for our youth in Richmond County, but we should be, but I don't see anybody doing it. I don't see anybody putting money and actually putting it. Now, no offense to anybody. I mean, I think it's some nonprofits doing some great things,
Absolutely.
but I mean, even the Boys and Girls Club don't have a big platform with multi-purpose fields that can regenerate or generate a whole lot of money. I don't know why Augusta doesn't have that. We travel and we go to North D9. Augusta. They have a multi-platform facility that brings the Nike Peace Jam here. But why Augusta is the big city? Why Augusta isn't doing it? I mean, some of that may be leadership, not necessarily the present, but the past. But we got to clean up who we are as Augusta.
Well, I was just having a conversation last night with a close friend, and I compared this to the pendulum swing, where at one point there was a trajectory where we're at a high level and everything is going great in Augusta, and then you have a pendulum swing where it comes down and it's kind of losing its luster. And so it's on a downward trend with new administration in places, a lot of new businesses that are coming and opening in Augusta, with new ideas. It's a lot of economic growth and development here as far as when it comes to manufacturing and industrial that's continued to be built here. We've implemented the entertainment spots that we could add more. I'm not saying that this is enough, but to make us competitive with other cities, it's happening, right?
Yep.
But it takes a time, right, for the pendulum swing to swing us back up to where we're in a kind of much more forceful trajectory to where we're really, really winning to be that spot. And so what you're saying, Tommy, it totally has credibility for what you're saying, because we can't slow down the work that we're doing right now. We have to continue to push forward.
Let me say this, because the new infrastructure, the new buildings and apartments, everything that we're building, they're not building these areas for the people that's already here. They're building that for people that's coming. Military, They're bringing people here, new people that's coming to this area you never see seen before.
Correct.
And they don't know
more
the
economic
issues
dollars
that we have had in the area because they haven't been here. They just come in here and they're showing them the best areas around here.
Correct.
What I'm talking about is the totality of the change.
Yeah.
When we go on vacation, we go to Orlando, go to the Disney World, different places like that. Of course, we don't see some of the areas that they may have problems in, but Augusta is not as that big that we can't make Augusta the next big place. We can fix this. It's not something that's not fixable. Now I'm gonna say this right here, and I got you, Mr. Harris.
All right.
I'm gonna say this. Let me say this. We did a architectural planning of in school. And you said about students in school, we did this here at Augusta Tech. We laid out the whole new Augusta. We laid out how we look. We laid out architectural works. We laid out the new theme parks, different things that we've seen that will bring opportunities here. We laid out how Dean's Bridge would look. We laid out how Gordon Highway would look. We laid out how every area would look. How would we get this area? How would we talk to the people that own these buildings? How would we get them to turn their buildings over or sell their buildings at a certain price? Yeah. We went through the whole area of it. Students did this.
Got it.
Okay. College students at Augusta Tech. When I was at Augusta Tech, I'm at Augusta University now. What I'm saying is this. The students of this era, the high school and the college students, their ideas of how they want this place to look should be taken into account.
And you know what, Tommy? That is a very, very good point. We have to know what the people of this population want to see here. And they have to be able to have a way, our platform, to let council, the council who work, the city who work with developers got to also understand what is what is a good risk as far as an investment to take on a certain type of business, because all of that goes into the equation of identifying what should come here, what tax breaks they have. All that stuff plays a big part in that. I agree. The macro of it, which means the total picture, in all totality, there can be an improvement. But it's going to take those I believe those groups that are in silos when it comes to cleaning up the community. We have to continue to work forward and work team together, partner with the corporations to sponsor these events, as well as be out there with us alongside us to say, hey, we care about the community as well in maybe what we consider a underprivileged or a underserved community as well. So we, leaders like us, we do have to go out and make sure those partnerships happen.
I'm glad that the Lord then gave us this show and this platform.
Right.
Because some people are going to say, man, he chose violence today. But I'm choosing to stand up, okay? To your west, you got Athens. To your south, you got Atlanta. To your east, you got Savannah. To your north, you got Columbia, which is the capital of South Carolina. Mm-hmm. Which population? In the middle, you got Augusta. Who has the greater population? It's not count Atlanta, okay? But who has the greatest population? East, west, and north.
Are we talking just
center?
Are we just talking numbers and people?
Numbers and people, population.
Got it.
Population.
You asking or you
Yes,
tell
I'm
us?
asking.
I would say Augusta.
Augusta.
Are did you point out Atlanta? You said already.
I said not counting Atlanta.
Okay,
not counting. We not
no.
Atlanta.
I
mean,
agree
Atlanta
with you.
is big city.
No,
right.
I mean, top three.
Yeah,
top three at one point was Atlanta, Augusta, and then like Columbus.
Yes, but Athens has 136,000 people in the city of Athens, right? I mean that's a lot of people.
Yeah, for Athens,
Augusta has over 200,000 people.
Yeah.
All right. Columbia has like 163,000 people. It's the capital of South Carolina. And Savannah has under what Augusta is. So what I'm saying is, man, we have to understand and respectfully, something is going on that is bigger than the people that is in this room. The reason why you don't have an attraction to Augusta, because we have the population to build attraction. That's what makes Atlanta what it is. The metropolitan areas that make up Atlanta, the buildup of what Atlanta is. Atlanta is the capital. I mean, man, why Columbia is more attractive than Augusta?
My question is, do you think Augusta is progressive? Have they been progressive in the past 5 years?
It's not. You got a major university, UGA, in Athens. But Augusta don't have a major university, but we still bigger than Athens.
So to answer the question, right? And we have to look at it in my perspective in this way. Okay, we have like we talked on one of our shows, we have 250,000 people in this area, right? My question would be, and the solution would be, is always, what is the problem? The problem and solution is the same. If you figure out the problem, then you create the solution for the problem.
Correct.
The problem is the fact that, okay, the individuals that don't have the opportunity are the ones that's become the issue.
Yeah.
So we get opportunity to the ones that's the issue, then we solve the problem. So we have to give the ones in school. I'm gonna always say this: the ones in school, college, high school, and college. Right? Though it's always gonna be college and high school, no matter what. They're gonna graduate. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know where they're going at. We have to, as adults, as leaders, create opportunity for them.
Yes.
So to create opportunity for them is actually to keep them here.
Yeah.
So they're not going to stay here because there's no opportunity for them, no jobs. They can't get the $80,000. They can't get the $120,000 job. They go to other places.
But like population is the issue for us.
It's not the issue.
It's not the issue. So people living here is not the issue.
Right.
The problem is somebody or somebody's don't want Augusta to be what Augusta is capable of being.
Look at the airport. The airport, they made some improvements to the airport, but the airport is still one of the smallest airports.
Because they don't want a one-way trip. They want to go to Atlanta and then go somewhere else. But they could set the structure up of the airport to be bigger than what it really is. I remember when they was having those one-way trips going to DC, and then it got shut down.
Right.
To my knowledge. So maybe it's going on. Maybe somebody need to text us later.
We going to let us know. This show right here is press release. We want to release to the fact that we want some changes in this area.
I'm pressed about it.
We have some ideas.
And I see changes in this area.
I'm pressed.
Right?
Yeah, there are changes. What I'm saying is the changes that the changes that are out here, we need to go to the big Augusta. To take it to the high level.
Before you even go there, I'm gonna go further. I'm gonna go further because I know you like, man, he hyped.
Because
I remember a couple of years ago, there was someone that God gave them a vision of trying to do a college football program in our area. No one really knows about it. Could it have been the profile of that person? Maybe if the profile of that person would have been different, maybe more people would have paid attention to it. But really, that's something that could have been a great entertainment. Who kept people from saying, hey, you know what, man, let's do that. Or let's do this, or let's do that. There's been ideas in our area that's been held back. We want to know about those ideas. We want to bring you on our show. We want to help our area grow, because that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, the purpose of press release is to help our area grow. Oh yeah, I'm on one today.
That's right.
Well, you tapping on a lot of different things, man. And so and this really is not a main thing. Keeping the main thing on this, we're kind of crossing over to a lot of different areas.
Oh yeah,
the sports, the community, and the business side. So what I'll say to the businesses that are here, right? Continue or find a source to know how to market yourself the best way possible, because there are a lot of attractions here, right? There are a lot of activities, there are a lot of events that go on that people don't know. And I'm sorry, Eventbrite.com just don't do it every time just because you post it up and you say you got tickets for sale, right? You need to do a campaign on that stuff as well. Businesses, you need to make sure that your social medias are connecting with where meet people where they're at. Create the groups and the community rooms to showcase what you're doing in your businesses, so people know how to find you. I just saw a lot of different new businesses on Instagram the other day. I'm like, oh wow, I didn't know. I'm on Instagram all the time, but I had to click on somebody else's stuff to get to that person's stuff.
Hit our page up so we can know about it.
So man,
tag
us.
We are looking to have different people interviewed, and we want to talk to the mayor. That's going to be one of them we want to talk to. We also want to talk to the new sheriff. We're going to give Augusta their props first before we go out to any other places. Of course, we want to talk to one of my great friends over there in North Augusta, which I've taken some ideas to her over there, which they're very receptive of those ideas at the Chamber of Commerce. the Chamber of Commerce over here in Augusta and Burke County, where I'm from. So what I'm saying is we need to, the big thing is money. How can we bring money to Augusta? How can we bring the tourists to Augusta? So we're looking at the ideas of where we broke it down in our economic plan that, Augusta would probably benefit probably more than, you look at what some of the theme parks make, Six Flags, how much they make, how much.
A theme park would be a great placement here.
So we discussing some stuff like that. So what I want to say is, what I want to say is this though.
There was a water park.
We research a Six Flags.
Water park.
Research.
We need a water park.
Disney World.
They
and listen.
Columbia County don't want it. Richmond County don't want it. And Aiken County.
The money that they make. Look up right now. Because we want the people to know. We ain't trying to hide nothing because all this hiding secret stuff, that's why we in the place where we need to understand how to work together.
Correct.
Blacks, whites, everybody in this area.
Absolutely.
We need to work together, understand that we need money. And everybody can make the money together if we listen and put out a plan that covers this whole area. When I say the whole area, we're talking about the whole Savannah Central area, CSRA. That way we can make Augusta that place that it need to be and make the money and create the opportunities. And I want to say this here because we're running out of time. We need to allow people to buy shares. Civilians to buy shares, not just the big companies that come with the big ideas, with the big money. No, let the civilians, the residents of the areas, let them buy shares. They don't have to be
you talking about common shares? And
common shares.
Okay.
I mean, they don't have to put in no $1 million. Right. They don't have to put in no $500,000. They can put in $500 and say, listen, I'm a part of this company. I'm a part of this business. I'm a part of that business. So that way people can feel like they are part of the community and they won't tear the community up. They won't destroy the community. They'll take the crime more serious. The crime rate will go down if everybody's involved and they want everybody to feel like, okay, I got to be the boss. I got to be over this. No. Everybody, I understand what their lane is. We stay in our lane. We build this place up. Everybody can be successful. And we can make Augusta one of the most successful tourist businesses that can bring close to $30 to $50 billion a year to Augusta, not just that one weekend.
It's very much possible.
And I want to correct myself. Okay. Because I might have been a little off. Because I want to.
You was on
those was on the cities.
You was
the
on
numbers I gave you earlier. But Metro, Savannah Metro is 400,000.
Yeah.
Our Metro CSRA is over 600,000.
Wow.
And then when you shift over to Athens, you're about 300,000. And then Columbia is actually 800,000. They're Metro though. That means their outside areas is bigger than the outside areas of Augusta because we got more rural outside areas and they're more Metro outside areas, kind of like the buildup of Atlanta. But they are the capital of South Carolina. Augusta is not the capital.
So here's my question before we close out, man. Are we talking about what we can do to make Augusta the big Augusta? Or we just sit here complaining about the issues?
No complaints. But you got to point it out.
I just want to make it clear to our audience.
Got that song, point it out. Yeah, we got to point it out.
We just want to make it clear to our audience. So that we are concerned.
We just point it out.
And we want to see Augusta be this big Augusta that you're talking about.
We're not going to even Austin Roads. I want to talk to the white community too. I don't care if they're Republican, Democrats, or whatever. We need to connect with even
because that ain't our road is not division.
It's not division.
Our road is about unity.
It's unity.
Absolutely.
We want to be a part of the solution.
Correct.
We want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
But you got to be able to point out what the problem is.
Right.
And it's not just a day problem or a day problem. It's our problem. So when I'm looking at this camera and I'm saying, hey, listen, as in Augusta, Richmond County having a problem, we have a problem. We have a problem. And I want to be a part of the solution to that problem. We want to be a part of the solution to that problem.
So that's why we brought this up. We have other ideas. We want to talk to some of the leaders in the area.
Absolutely.
Because I want to let y'all know, the young people in the college and high school, if we don't make some changes, these young people are going to be taken over in these leadership positions. And because they are the future, I'm 57 years old. Mm-hmm. They are 18 and 17 years old. I'm one of the oldest ones in my college classes.
Got it.
But they are ready to do something big. Yeah. We need to show them and teach them to be coaches and let them see that we want them to stay here Augusta to be successful, to become that big Augusta that we know it could be.
And I just want to say, kudos to you, because for you to be that old and go back to school, bro. Big up to you, bro. And he be in class every day too. Hey, I'm going to my next class.
They say when you get older, you shrink.
He be on it, man.
Wow.
But no, Tommy,
I love y'all.
This subject today, I believe, kind of puts a spark into everything else that we are bringing to the audiences out here in the CSRA and beyond. I appreciate both of you for being able to have this dialogue and everything today, because when we come back next time.
Oh, yeah, I was on one today.
It's doable. And we can do it, Augusta. And we are going to do it.
We are
press release.
That's
We're
the
not
key
going to
thing.
stop.
Yeah.
Everybody, white, black, Hispanic,
That's right.
I don't care what color you are, where you are.
That's
Let's
right.
make this happen.
And we believe in the regime that's here, all right? We going to work with you, not against you.
Yeah,
believe that, all right?
We love our mayor. We
Yeah.
love our sheriff. We want to work with you. We want to have you on the show so we can talk about it.
Shout out Gino. Shout out Ken Daniels, man. No guys doing some good stuff on the police force. All right, this has been your latest episode of Press
we
Release.
Forgot about you. All right. Let's go. What you say?
Who you said?
Bo Johnson.
Bo. Yo,
Yeah,
okay.
Bo.
Salute. Salute, Bo.
Salute.
Always salute the sheriff.
All right. We wrapping up. This has been your latest episode of Press Release. I'm your host, Sherwin Glosson. To my left, I got
Tommy Ingram.
To my right, I got
Cornell Harris.
Hey, if you just press
and release.
See you next time.